Good evening, folks. Mike back here out on the porch again. Um, Tonight I'm going to talk about things that we used to put up with that are now unbearable. And it's my neighbor bringing the trash can in, if you could hear it. Joys of living in a neighborhood. But yeah, talk about how things, we used to, as we were younger, we used to tolerate, put up with people incompetence. And as you get older, you realize life's too short. I don't have time for it. Don't care about it. But first, I'm smoking tonight this Jeremy Siers, I think he says his name. He's got a YouTube channel. Hold Fast. He's got a very cool wrapper on there. I don't know if you saw it. That's kind of his logo. But he does a lot of whiskey and cigar content, some guns, a lot of knives, just different products and things. But pretty cool channel. But he came out with a cigar line. I think he teamed up with some company. I may have been Pravada. I can't remember. But he's a cigar guy, so he actually smoked these. And he's got the Maduro, which is the one here. And then I think there's one with a lighter band I can't remember what that's called. But I've had both. I like the Maduro better. I like Maduros, but it's kind of chocolatey, coffee, all those dark, rich flavors. Not a lot of pepper, so it doesn't give you any burn or anything like that. I don't know. It's pretty good. Usually get a pretty good burn on it. A lot of smoke. Pretty consistent. I've had 2 5-packs of these and one of the lighter color ones. They were all pretty good, even the lighter ones. I'm a Maduro guy. I'm pairing it with this Redwood Empire bourbon whiskey. I don't know the proof on it. I don't know. I can't even read it. It's too dark out here, but I think it's about 110 or 120, somewhere in there. I like a lot of the Redwood stuff, but I heard their source changed, or they're just still on their own now. Where they were sourcing it. I don't know, but I haven't had it. All the bottles I got are the older ones. I do like the rye one I had the other day better, but this is pretty good. It's almost more fruity, not real oaky, kind of sweet. I wouldn't say it's Buffalo Trace-ish, but it's kind of along those lines where it's more of a fruity, like Buffalo Trace. A lot of times you get some of that grape. I don't know if it's grape, but I'm not good with all the flavors. But if you like that kind of thing, it's good. Not a lot of burn. You can drink it without it, getting you if you like that kind of thing. But pretty good pour, especially like a summertime when it's warm. You don't want that heavy stuff. It's pretty good on a Wednesday night. But tonight I want to talk about, real quick, thinking about things that, when you're a younger man, you're more apt to tolerate, put up with incompetence, people at these businesses giving you the runaround, which more and more, unfortunately, is the rule instead of the exception. Companies really don't care anymore. They just do what they want to do. And sometimes I feel sorry for the employee, and sometimes I don't, because they really don't care either. And that shows. But they always say men mellow when they age, and I surely I have. I think I used to be much more angry when I was younger, I would say, at times. But it makes you wonder: are you really more yellow, or mellow? Mellow, or are you more apt to not be in situations you don't want to be in because your tolerance is lower? So you're more apt to just say, no, I'm not doing that. I'm not going there. I don't want to hang around with this person. You cut more people out of your lives quicker. Sometimes when you're younger, you're more of a people pleaser. You want people to like you. depending on how you were raised or your personality. But a lot of people find themselves in that situation where you're trying to do things, end up doing things you don't want to do, um, activities you don't really want to be at, hanging around with people you don't like. And I think when you get older, you just learn to you care less about what people think and what they're going to say, because you realize it really doesn't matter. And two, you realize nobody really cares. I think a lot of times we get worried about what people are going to think and say, and in reality, they're not thinking or saying anything about you because they don't really care. You're the one who cares because it worries you more than them. And but things become, you go to get your car fixed, and it's something that should be covered under warranty, and they're trying to tell you it's not for whatever BS reason. When I was younger, I was more apt to, okay, I understand. Well, how much will it be to fix it? And now I'm more apt to argue with them a little bit and say, you know what, that's bull crap, and question more than I used to. So I guess that's not being more mellow. But when I leave, usually you're happier because usually if you question things somewhat without being an asshole, you can a lot of times get what you wanted, or at least they'll meet you halfway, um, depending on how you present it, I guess. You don't get too angry, but um, people who you really don't like that much, but you in the past, you kind of hung around with them because you were expected to, whether they be family members or things like that, friends of your spouse or friends of a friend, and used to be, yeah, I'll go, and you tolerate them and put up with them, and they've run faster, jump higher, done it all, no more. And you get older, and you're like, I don't need all that. I don't need to hear it. I don't really care about it. I don't want to be around them. You're more likely to say no. I'm not going, and it makes you a happier man when you finally get to the point where you can say those things. Um, I was always pretty good about that. Um, I've got a pretty, I'm not going to say I'm 100%, but I've got a pretty good judge of character over the years. Um, I can meet people, and within a few minutes, I can tell that's not, something's going on there. And 9 times out of 10, the truth comes out down maybe a couple of years down the road, but it comes out. And I've got a good track record. So after a few times of that, my wife kind of has stopped years ago questioning it. I go, that's not good. I don't know what's going on there always, but guy's a bullshitter. And I think I got a lot of that reading people because of my job, that I've done all these years, and you kind of can get a beat on people pretty quick. But again, you're never 100%. So those few that get through that you didn't catch, um, I'm the type now, the first sign of trouble, I'm out. I'm done with it. Just don't have time. Life's too short. And you don't have much tolerance for it. And honestly, the older you get, the less you realize, the less you need these people in your life, anybody. Your circle gets smaller, at least mine has. Um, but they're more loyal, and they're more apt to actually care about you. Um, it just comes with age and experience. You realize that you don't have you don't have the patience anymore. Um, Going to yeah, I already know. Like I don't go on cruises. I'm not a fan of cruises. I don't have the tolerance for it. I don't want to be bothered with it. A lot of people love them, and if you do, so be it. Everybody's different. I don't like being herded like cattle. If I want to get in my car and go, I'm done with it. I want to. I don't want to be stuck on a boat. I don't like flying, not because I'm afraid of flying. Actually, it's a pretty cool experience. I kind of like it. The experience of the actual flight It's the whole um, being in my job. I don't like to be without my gun, for one, and I don't like getting on that plane. You're at the mercy of whoever. Um, if something happens, you're just kind of screwed. And if the plane goes down, you got no control over it. At least if I wreck my car, I mean, somebody could run into you, but you've got some control over it. I don't like not having control over my life. I remember we went to pick up my daughter at the airport, and there's my son-in-law one time, and we sat in the little parking waiting area forever because there was a lightning storm. And they wouldn't let him off the plane because there was a storm in the area, nowhere around the airport, but it was in the area. And they had shut off the plane, shut off the air conditioning. They had run out of toilet paper. The toilets were backing up. I'd have lost my mind. I don't know how they did it. I'd have lost my mind. Um, Open the freaking door and say, hey, no liability. If you want to get off, that's on you. If not, we'll wait for you. Nope, can't get off. You're just stuck on this freaking plane, hot, stuffy, bunch of angry people. I can't do it. I can't do it. Things that probably when I was younger, I'd have been more apt to have been mad, but you probably wouldn't have said nothing, but I'd have lost my mind. So I know that flying's not for me. Cruises aren't for me. I don't want to be stuck anywhere. If I want to get up and get out and get in my car and go, my truck, and go when I'm ready to go, that's what I want to do. My best vacation is driving to the beach, renting a condo, and hanging out for a week or two. Just eating dinner at home at night, having me a cigar and a drink. Um, we don't even like going out to dinner that much. We gotten to the point now. We're not rich, but we could afford to go out to eat. But we find ourselves normally we go out to eat on Sunday afternoon for like a lunch, and that's it. Even at work, I bring my lunch, not because I can't afford it, but I'd rather sit in my office and eat my lunch than go out to a restaurant anymore because it's just a expensive, miserable experience. The food's not good, and used to have more of a tolerance for that. Again, no tolerance for it. I get angry if I order something that's a $16 freaking hamburger nowadays, and it's kind of half-ass. I'm like, what am I doing? And some crappy fries. So I just your tolerance for things as you get older just gets a lot shorter, and you find out I really don't. Do I really want to go out to eat? Because it's really not all that good anyway. Usually, I mean, I don't go eat at Ruth Chris or anything, but I don't. We go to some pretty decent places. There's a couple of places we like, but it's funny on the Sunday afternoons we go to like four. There's like four restaurants really that we go to, and that are on the list anymore, and that's it. And I hate to even try anything new because half the time you go and you're disappointed. Sound like get off my lawn guy, don't I? Eating the same thing, hanging out with the same people, but you know what? You realize when you get older, you like what you like. You like who you like, and you really don't care anymore. And I'm to the for many years I've been like my wife would sometimes go, I feel like I'm married to a drunk. And I go, why? What are you talking about? Because I always got to lie for you because you don't ever want to go when we go out different places to see people or do things. I'm like, you don't have to lie for me. I don't like them. You can tell them I don't like them. I don't care. But I don't know. I guess that's bad, but it's hard when you're a couple. You guys that are married or have somebody, you realize you'll know what I'm talking about. It is damn hard to find a couple that you both like. Usually the wife likes the wife or the husband likes the husband and the wives don't get along. it is hard to find a couple that I think both of them like each other. And my one good friend I know, Eddie, I know his wife's, they're good people, both of them. They're very much like us. You know, so many people nowadays are, they're loaded, but it's family money. It's inherited money. It's the parents are rich, and they can't relate. You know, they want to go on fancy trips or have fancy cars and Harley Davidsons and all this crap. And I want you to go. Why don't you go? You can't take it with you. I'm like, well, there's nothing to take with me. My friend Eddie, they're just like us. Everything they have, they work for. Um, Blood, sweat, and tears, and so they can relate. They're very easy to hang out with. And when we have gone on a couple vacations with them, it's been a great experience because we do things together, but we also, if they don't want to go, they go, hey, we're going to hang out here, and okay, and we'll meet up later for dinner or something. It's a very relaxing trip when we go with them, and I appreciate that because not everybody's like that. And him and his wife are both very good people, very down to earth, and would do anything for you. Great people, but it's hard. It's difficult. We've had a lot of friends over the years, through work and things. And like I said, either I like the husband, you know, and the wives don't get along, or vice versa. And my wife's with her friend, and the husband, I'm talking to him, and he's an asshole. I hate to be ugly, but I'm like, I can't take this guy. He's wearing me out. Usually, 9 times out of 10 in situations like that, um, the husband kind of brags, about how great he is, or great how much money he's got, or the things they have. And I've never been one to talk about. If you ask me about something, I'll go, yeah, we enjoy that and this and that. But I've never been one to just tell people about how great my stuff is. And there are always people, like I talked about before, while you're having a two-way conversation, but you can tell they're not really listening. They're waiting for that gap so they can get out what they have to say. And it's kind of irritating, because I'm not. I like to learn about people and let people say their piece and talk about the stuff that's important to them. And you learn a lot. If you just shut your mouth, you learn a lot. But I can't tolerate it. So, and it's funny because my wife, if she's gotten older, she kind of realized that it's just hard. So, like, if she wants to go eat with some friends, they'll go after work and go for dinner after work, and then she comes home, right after work. They don't go out, drinking or partying, but they'll go to dinner, and then she'll be home by, like, 6:30, 7 o'clock. Um, but she doesn't ask me to go with her, and I appreciate that. It's not very often, but yeah, you really learn when you get older what you want to do and what you don't want to do, and you're more apt to say what you will and won't do. Um, it's just funny how, I don't know if that's maturity or less patience, and you mellow out. Man, I'm way different than I was when I was a young man. But I think it's because I don't put myself in situations that would make me so angry. That, and the kids are gone, because much as you love them, they're a lot. They're a lot. And but it's I tell you, I don't. I guess if you're healthy this time in your 50s up until, I don't know, because I'm not there yet, but it's a pretty good time in your life, at least for me and my wife. It has been, and I'm enjoying every minute of it while I can. Anyway, kind of rambled a little bit tonight, I know. I kind of winged this one. I was thinking about it, but I don't really ever have notes, but I hadn't really thought about, a bunch of talking points or anything. So anyway, thank you for bearing with me. I appreciate it. Yeah, like I said, it's Wednesday night. I'm gonna probably do another video this week, maybe on Friday. I'll try to get out here. We'll see, Friday night. But anyway, you guys have a good week. Stay safe, and tell me what your thoughts are. Do you think you're more mellow? Are you more mellow since you've gotten older? And if so, why? Is it because you kind of cut down on the things that are aggravating, or is it what are your thoughts? I don't know. I'm curious. I think it's a combination of things for me. But anyway, you guys have a good evening, and we'll see you next time.